Well, hello everybody, we're here to check out the skins this week, and we are going to jump right into it one quick second, but a lot of people are asking, is there going to be another round of Twitch drops? And there is. Alistair announced on Twitter that the 4th, or same day as the Force Wipe and update for February, will be the next Twitch drops, and then it will go live with the Rust update. So there you guys go. So that is pretty much a week from Thursday. So not too far away. So you've got a little bit of a break time in between. And this time I believe it's going to be some OG Rust people mixed in with a few of the stragglers whose skins didn't get finished up for the last round. I think it was only one skin, but it might be more. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so there we go, guys. That's the information for the next Twitch drops. Let's get into the top skins for this week. So we've got a hoodie set here, and it is part of the Monuments Memory set. And the recycler always pops up somewhere, and I just want to mention it's on a gold chain. I thought that's pretty hilarious. We've got, of course, a tac heli and a hot air balloon down here on these knee pads. We've got cargo and the dome. Back here, you've got the APC and the rocket, and then a big old recycler on the back. And then you've got some elbow pads with a water tower and the lighthouse. So definitely a cool little set. Nice addition to it. Next up, we've got Milo's take on the Ladybug cosplay set. So a few people have tried to make like Ladybug hoodies and pants and that kind of stuff, and none of them have really taken too much. And maybe this one will, I don't know, or maybe helps over the whole cosplay thing. One way or another, guys, I bring you the Ladybug cosplay set, brought to us by Milo, who brought us all the previous ones, like the bee and cow and so forth. And with this one, it's actually got these kind of like rubber, like ladybug wings on the back, which I think is quite unique. And then, of course, you know, the hoodie has the face and so forth. So pretty much what you would expect. Definitely cute. And, of course, it has to have its little button, which is that guy right there. Next up, we've got a really cool looking press set made by Little Ranger, and yeah, it's kind of got a digital snow camo kind of thing. Well, nah, it's actually just kind of regular snow camo, actually. It's a very light snow camo look to it, and then it's got this very kind of like reinforced, maybe bulletproof. I don't know if it's really flak vest or whatever, but one way or another, it's got a press vest thing going on with it, and yeah, the whole thing just has a really kind of tactical look to it, and I can see a lot of people role-playing as the camera guy with this set, so it is quite cool. Only thing I'm a little worried about is one of the rules for skins is don't make things that aren't armored look armored, and this does make it look armored, so we'll just have to see how that goes, but is definitely a very, very cool looking detailed set. Lastly, for clothing and armor, we've got a continuation in Jin's rainbow set, and we've got the rainbow high qual, and the front just looks like a high qual set, literally spray painted with drips and all, and even over the straps, which appear to be made out of rubber from old tire. So that's very cool there. But yeah, I like the whole drip of the spray paint thing that's kind of going on with it. And on the back, you've got these drippy little like stars, which look like falling stars with that effect, which is quite cool. And you can see the face mask also has a tire rubber piece to it. Same stars on the side, and the front has a very scratched up looking rainbow mask. So definitely very cool. Love this set. Next up, let's jump into the Deployables, and we've got these sleeping bags for you here, starting with this really happy, adorable kitty. Look at this thing. I mean, it is so happy and adorable. How could you not love it, right? I mean, look at that face. It is so happy. So this is the Meow Meow sleeping bag. It is part of the Meow Meow set, and you know, that makes sense. Next, we've got another sleeping bag for you. This one here is obviously meant to hide pretty well in the bushes. It is a funny gardener sleeping bag, and it just has a little, you know, happy face there on a dirt pillow, and yeah, it's got some little happy little flowers around on there as well. Then over here we've got something a little more on the sinister side. It's a sleeping bag that looks like a body bag. And yeah, it's got some blood smears. It looks like there's an outline of a body in it, as well as, look, there's a rock. I mean, And then, I mean, I love the detail. I mean, even the pull strings actually look like proper pull strings. Like, they don't look like they're actually, you know, a flat piece stuck on there. There's just a lot of detail put to this. Next, we've got a vending machine for you, and this is the bubblegum vending machine. And it says rust is with a heart, so, you know, rust is love, I guess. And you can see there's several different bubblegum flavors there. If you come around and look at the back, it's got this bright color and a metal face mask blowing some bubblegum. So that is pretty cool right there. Next, we've got doors, and I've got some weird shading problems here, so we'll definitely, I just couldn't get the sun in the right place. We'll look at them from both sides, but, you know, this is where I have the walkway, so we'll talk about them here. So over here, we've got our first door with some epic, like, graffiti art on it. This thing is so cool looking. It is the lighthouse door, and it's got a lighthouse with a skull with octopus tentacles coming out of it. The whole thing is just absolutely amazingly beautiful. And, you know, like I said, we'll get some bare light at there. Next, we've got something that looks like it belongs to the Flash's house, and this is the Thunder door by Call Me Tommy. And as you can see, it's got this big red gem with some thunderbolts coming off of it. It's definitely a very unique looking door, and I'm not sure how much it fits really rust, but you know what? It's one of those bright things that a lot of people could do something cool with. So one way or another, rust is kind of just this big old sandbox. Then over here, we've got a very cool looking bull for you. And in the shape of the bull, there's a background of the forest and rust. And that is just, it's so cool. I love that detail to it. And then just these kind of like screwed in pieces of iron plating just all together. The whole thing is very, very cool. Next, over here, we've got a very rusty door for you. This is something that fits in the swamp, I would say, and that's probably because it's the Swamp Lurker sheet metal door. This whole thing is meant to look rusty and messed up. You can see there's some wood hiding behind the sheet metal panels, and there's even a fake code lock drawn on there. And yeah, this whole thing's just rusty, and well, that makes it perfect to fit in the game. Next, we've got something very crazy for you. Over here, it is this gem monster, or the monster door, as it's being called. And this whole thing kind of looks like it's made out of sheet metal and like little gem pieces or so forth. You can see all the teeth and springs. The whole thing's just got a very wacky, crazy, cool look to it. Over here, we've got something a lot more clean. I feel like this is something that definitely fits into CS. I don't know if this is something that, you know, fits that too sci-fi for Hulk, but it's definitely such a clean and cool door. I love the look of it. And it's got some wear and tear. There's, you know, rust dripping around the window and the push bar, but you got this little stick figure AK guy down there. And of course that is a neon. You can see there's even a little electrical cord going down to it, which of course we'll show you here when we check out everything at night. Next, we've got the Doodle garage door for you. It's got all sorts of stuff going on. The more you look at it, the more you will see. But there's, you know, a little high-qual guy there. We've got an acoustic guitar. There's another different guitar down there. Drums. There's all sorts of little things. A mushroom. I mean, all sorts of critters. It is just all sorts of crazy. Then over here, we've got something that can set you up to get ready for that train update whenever it is coming. And we've got the Cobalt Rail Company door, brought to us by Stabby. Has a very elegant, nice look to it, and at night it glows quite beautifully, so we'll be sure to check that one out. This just has a very nice, old-timey train feel to it. I also like the 2013, which is, you know, Rust's, you know, birth date, or current version Rust, you know what I mean? It's definitely a cool little addition there. Next, we've got a revitalization of the Molten Garage door. This version is made to look like it rolls up, and they did that with not only hinges, but these like little lava like breaks in it. And that shows the separate panels. It just looks really cool, especially at night. And I think it's really well done. So maybe this guy will have a chance to get in. Then we've got a nice armor door over here. This guy says heavily guarded on the flap, or the hatch, I should say, is really funny there. It's got a key lock for the loot crates, and lots of little heavies, and some regular little scientists. All the photos that you would recognize from this awesome collection. Take a look at the backside here. You can see it still says heavily guarded on this side. It's got some more little pictures, different ones, as well as some of this shrunk down Cobalt posters from launch site. And it just has such a nice feel of in-game things, and it looks like it's been welded and made from the actual crates. So this is just something that fits nice. You know, it's a good way of, it's probably the only good way to take something from the game and make it into something of your own for a skin. And that's a hard thing to do, so this definitely turned out well. And then we'll go ahead and get a nice look at all of these guys in the better light. Yeah, man, the light makes so much more difference. There we go. We just passed through the TC, I think. And there we have it. All right, well, let's go cut the lights and take a look at these with their glow. Alrighty, so starting up, you can see the bubblegum machine has a couple of little lights here for the different selections and the bubblegum name. If you go ahead and take a look at the back, there is no glow going on there. I know people always ask to see that, so we'll make sure to mention that. Not to mention, look, this glows on top of it. Really is a unique door. Then over here, as I said, this has a cool little glow to it. So you've got like that kind of like exit sign, as well as the little guy and even the green light to show the power going to it. Then, like I said, the train has a very nice glow, the 2013 there, and the little headlights, the beautiful glow from the windows. And then check out that Molten Visage. Yeah, that is such a badass door. Even the roller has some glow. And then, of course, you've got the key lock, or code lock, key lock. Yeah, the key lock, guys. The code lock and the heavily guarded little window flap lights up. All right, let's jump into the last part of the video and check out potential skins for weapons and tools. And that was completely the wrong button. Hello, there we go. I don't know how I hit F1 instead of 1. But we've got a start off with this beautiful hammer. We just saw the furnace come in, and now we've got the volcanic hammer to go along with it. This thing definitely is quite epic. And of course, it does glow. So we'll be sure to show you that here at the end. Next, we've got another glowy hammer for you, and this one is meant to look like it has these heating coils going through it, which is quite cool and well done. It is the grill hammer, and yeah, I can imagine just whacking things with it and like toasting bread or something. You know, bam, hit a whole loaf, toasted. I don't know. I'm a weird guy, but this is definitely a cool looking hammer. Next, we've got a rock that took some inspiration from the neon signs, and that bonk, bonk, bonk just kept in their mind, so they made a bonk, bonk, knock, knock rock, and yeah, it's looked like it's been used quite a bit. There's a tiny bit of red on it there, you know, if you know what I mean. Yeah, good rock. Anyway, speaking of good rocks, we've got a good hearty breakfast for you, I guess. I don't know if I would trust that. It looks kind of tough on the inside. One way or another, there's some eggs and bacon on this, and it looks like someone was trying to make themselves a friend, because they got a little bit lonely there. But this is the radioactive scrambled egg rock, brought to you by Positive. Next up, we've got some bows for you, starting out with this one, which is part of Eben's nuke set. This is the nuke hunting bow. We'll go ahead and draw it there, and as we turn around, you can see it has some crust and dirt to it, but that same kind of just faded yellow kind of caution color to it. And you can see there's a radioactive symbol to it. And yeah, definitely looks dirty and used like rust. Next, we've got something on the fruitier side for you, and that's because it is literally made of a watermelon. Well, it's made to look that way, at least. This is a cool little watermelon bow. And then, actually, is called the berry bow. My mistake. So it's probably more a strawberry than a watermelon. So there we go. The berry bow, as it should be properly named. There we go. Take one more long look at it. Kind of like the pattern at the top there. And the bottom. And then it's got a nice little yellow string. Next up, we've got Python for you, and this one's meant to look like a squirt gun. And I think they did a pretty good job. This is the Water Python by Y9J. And if you take a look at all of it, it kind of has that like Nerf kind of feel to it, very plasticky. I'm sure you've probably owned a toy gun at some point that looked like this, kind of. Aiming down the sights here, it's got a orange sight for you to focus on, and it's a slightly different color than the back part, so that can kind of help you focus. And whoa, it just disappeared. We'll go ahead and pop a reload, because everyone likes to see that. And there you have it. Next, we've got a couple SARs for you, starting with the Shippy SAR. That's right, we've got the Captain SAR here from the Shippy set by Vitalik. And you can see it has some submarine torpedoes there on the mag. Aiming down the sides, you've got the anchor and some nice little rope and a kind of fading, scraped up old red paint there to help you focus on your enemy's head. We'll go ahead and pop those torpedoes in. Boom. I like that. I don't know, it's the small things that are sometimes really enjoyable. And honestly, the rope looks really well done on this. It just kind of, the whole thing just has a very nautical feel. Next, we've got something that is a little more on the regal side, and this is the Holy Trapper SAR by Hatson. And yeah, the Holy Trapper set looks like it might be getting a revival, and it's definitely a nice little elegant set, so I don't think anyone would mind seeing that. It looks like it's got some nice kind of color changes. It's almost got like a, I don't know, purplish, dark purple to the straps and so forth. And the rope has been turned into nice, like, golden cords, it looks like. Aiming down the sides here, you've got that kind of same royal purple, and you can see these cords going by, as well as a nice gold tip to focus on in. Next, we've got some Tommies for you. Now, a lot of people keep asking in the comments, how can we never get Tommy skins? And that is, they're kind of hard to skin for. There's, you got minimal space, and it's kind of hard to work with this part, because there's not much you can do with it either. And it's very discouraging as well, because Helk is quite picky with them, and I don't mean that in a bad way or anything. It's just he doesn't particularly like the Thompson, so if he's going to have a skin going for it, he really wants to make it pop and be like a proper good skin. So this week we've got a couple really proper good ones, so maybe we have a chance. I don't know, guys. Don't hold me to it. I'm trying. I'm there with you guys. I would love to see some new Thompson skins, and I think that this one is quite cool. Duck has done a great job with the Cobalt Thompson here, or Cobalt Security Thompson. And aiming down the sights, you know, it's a very limited space, and, you know, he made it interesting. It's not just bland, you know? I think that's quite well done. Moving on, we've got that other Thompson that I said was done quite well, and this is a part of a very popular set, the Tactical set by FaZe. And FaZe is back at it, and he's trying with one of the hardest to get accepted skins, so, you know, gotta hand it to him there. Duck and FaZe are trying for you guys this week, and I think this is a great addition to the Tactical set. It looks quite well, and again, very hard to do something with here, but it goes really well with the gun. You've got that nice little red tip, and the red line kind of goes through, and, you know, he did a little something with the space. It's not just flat, you know? So there you have that. Next, we've got a custom for you, and this one is a very tasty looking treat. It's a continuation of Mad Polygon's Candyman set. And yeah, you can see it's got all sorts of deliciousness going on. Lollipops and candy and graham cracker and like, who knows, whatever else. Aiming down here, you got a giant lollipop up in your face with some pink sights to match it. Go ahead and pop in, I guess, sprinkles. Are we delivering sprinkles to it? That's kind of what it looks like. Gotta love this. Next up, we've got another custom for you, and this thing is on the glowy bright side. It's got a very cool acid kind of sticky slime effect thing going on, and this is named, appropriately I would say, this Symbiote SMG. It's brought to us by Fresh, and I would say it's a pretty fresh skin. Go ahead and pop that there. Aiming down the sides, you can see more of this slimy goopiness, and a nice bright silver iron sights there for you. Definitely a skin I could see selling quite well, because a lot of people like these bright, kind of more CSGO-ish looking skins. Next, we've got some AKs for you, starting with this one, which is a very cool engraved AK. This is the Silver Hydra by Anathan, and as you can see right here, there are a bunch of Hydra necks coming there through it. Those crazy snake dragon monster heads, they all have a little bit of different details going to them, as you can see there. Aim down the sights, you've got a little Hydra symbol, and it's a nice little black tips to the silvery iron sights there. Go ahead and pop a reload. And there you go. Next, we've got a very art-heavy one, and this one is quite epic. It's got this very cool Cthulhu drawn onto the side of it, and this is, of course, appropriately named the Deep One's AK. When you aim down the sights here, the whole thing looks all crusty and rusty, like brass and copper that's been under the sea. And the tip of it is painted a bright, bright green, but that is not a glow sight. Glow sights are not allowed, so that it just looks really glowy because it's the same bright green that's used here on the side, and it just really stands out there. So don't let that trick you, but definitely a cool little effect to it. Go ahead and pop in that, and as we reload his tentacles back into his face, I guess. Sorry, Cthulhu. One way or another, definitely a very epic looking AK. I can see a lot of people loving this one. Next up, we've got something very different, and this is a very cool looking AK. It is the inflatable AK-47 Sunshine by Bad Trip. And of course, this whole thing has the theme of the summer DLC, and it looks like an actual inflatable toy. I mean, look at that. Definitely has all those little, you know, wrinkles from where it's kind of like stressing at the corners of where you blew it up and everything, and I just think it looks great. And then there's actually like a blow-up valve right there. A really good use of parts of the AK there. The whole thing just is absolutely cool, and I love the vibe of this. Next, we've got a Balti, and it is part of the Blackout set. People have been begging for a Balti, and finally it has been delivered. And this one is honestly quite sexy. It's very sleek, and it's just the Blackout color scheme just really, really works well with the Balti. And the little details done to it here and there look quite nice. Aiming down the sights, they are painted a bright, bright red. Again, not glowing, no glow sights. Also love that the actual bolt action there is got that kind of like carbon fiber look to it. Definitely a very nice addition to the set. Next, we've got a couple LRs for you, starting with this very bright star one here. It's got a very bright blue. This is the Stellar LR by Phi. And yeah, I know we already have a lot of sets that have to do with like stars and suns and moon and weather and stuff, so I don't know how much of a chance this might have, but it's definitely got a very cool different vibe to it. There's like a purple fade to some of the parts of it, and yeah, the whole thing is just really cool, so I wanted to make sure that we showed this one. Aim down the sides, you've got a star and a yellow painted sight against the silver and blue. Go ahead and pop a reload right there. Boom. And there you have it. And actually, I want to say this is kind of a good example of breaking up your colors quite well. Oops, we went back to the Balti there. Alright, lastly, we've got a couple more for you, starting out with this LR right here. Now, there are two versions of it. This is the custom LR300 by Neville, and it has like a white-blue version as well, and then it has this one right here with the red only. And I just decided to show the red only one. It is just much more of a cleaner look to it. And yeah, it just has this very clean industrial look that is quite cool. And yeah, again, very good job at breaking up the different parts of it, making it look interesting and changing it up, which is quite nice. You can still make a very clean skin and still add details to it. Now, I do wish there was a little more detail to the you know, blank spot right there. But hey, one way or another, very cool LR. Next, we've got a very artistic LR for you, and it is the Paper Plane LR by Zinc. So it's part of Zinc's Paper Plane set. And you can see these beautiful, beautiful little designs here. There's the paper planes wisping away in the wind along the side of it, and the LR has this nice little pattern to it. It's not just one color, and you know, that's the thing. A lot of times when people do art, it just kind of blends away into one color behind it, and the art's the focus. And with the skins we've seen today, that just has been avoided, and they just did really, really well. Like, you can see these orange strips in the clip, and then on the different, you know, detail pieces and so forth. Aiming down the sights, you can see it's like rusted and kind of like, you know, flaking off. It's just, those kind of things are what can make the difference, really, between, you know, a skin getting accepted and not. Lastly, but not least, we've got a continuation in the very popular porcelain set. Over here you can see the LR has quite a few of heavy, well, not heavy, but HQM wearing guys. And one's got a rocket launcher, another's got an LR in his hand, which, you know, of course it's the LR, so it has to have a drawing of itself there. That's kind of been the theme. And yeah, this thing just has a really, really sick look to it. I love the kind of like iced look to the grip front there, as well as the back grip. And for grip front grip. Well, I'm speaking backwards today, guys. Apparently my dyslexia has moved on to becoming verbal. One way or and with full words. One way or another, aiming down the sights, it's got this literal iron-looking sight with a gold tip. All right, let's see those glow. So here's the lava hammer, or volcano hammer, I should say. Yeah, look at that. Then we've got the other roasty toasty hammer. And, surprisingly, the radioactive egg has radioactive eyes. I bet you didn't see that coming. And that does it for the glow. Yeah, you guys probably expected a few of those other skins to glow, but they don't. So that is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Sound off down in the comment section below which ones you want to see the most for this week and are hoping to get. I will try to give that feedback back to whoever I can and get it to the right places as usual. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all stay rusty. We'll see you on Thursday to see which one's made in.